Okay, we're getting back on our sporty mode here after a week. Everybody's wondering why I'm not doing any videos, because I've been too damn busy helping people. The whole world's down for virus, so everybody's calling me, emailing me, asking me stupid questions about their dumbass Harleys. I don't know why. And so I've been helping them. So here we are, another day of getting nothing done. It's 7:30, it's time to get something done today. So we get back onto this Sportster. So I pulled out the seal plate here. That goes over here on this side. So this is a brand new unit that they put on there, but it's, you can see where they over tightened it and buckled it, bent it. So it needs to be fixed. Don't drop it on your feet. And drop everything on the floor. I'm doing good today. Alright. Okay, get the camera out of the way. There you go, perfect. Okay, you need something flat and square to work from. We call the workbench right here. See, this part of the workbench is curved, this part's square. See, if you hit it over here, it ain't gonna make it flat. If you hit it over here, see, it makes it flat again. See, that's beveled up in the middle there. You give a little tap with that little tool right there, and it flattens it right out. That's how these things are done. Okay, a little bit better. Still pretty wavy, but it's semi-flat. Now to get most of the waves out, what you do is you lay it on a bench, you put a slight angle to it, and you go all equally all the way around. And it'll make it kind of like cone-shaped all the way around. So that works. So you just put it down like this, which is flat, and you bend it up just a little bit. And see, that makes it more straight, see, as it goes around. There you go. So that's good as new. Well, I could have sold them a new one. I'm too cheap to do that. Okay, this is the James Fancy Dancy gasket. Silicone on both sides, supposed to be leak proof, never leaks. Yeah. The problem is they're really thick, and when you put a little bit of torque on them, it splits through the holes and splits apart. Now, suppose they redesigned them a little bit so they don't do the same thing, but just don't torque them very much. But if you feel the screw all of a sudden get soft, that means it's split. It's going to leak if you don't take it off, put another one on it. So, even though this is nice and should work good, being a nice surface that's not very flat or even, I usually like doing something different. Now you can see where they had sealer on this. They had some kind of a, looks like gasket cinch almost on there. You can see it only hits in certain areas. See, this was all a low spot. It wasn't hitting here. It was only hitting right here where the shiny spot was. So it's not exactly a very flat surface to work from. The case is machine surface, so it's pretty good. So you could probably let this be nice and smooth against that surface. It'll seal. But something like this, you actually need to put some sealer on here that's got a little more build to it than just gasket cinch. So use our 3-bond, which is the same stuff we put between the case halves. It's a little bit thicker. It'll seal more. First thing I want to do is get a little bit of assembly lube, lubricate our seal. Dry seals are not good seals. So what we can do is we can take gasket cinch, which is nice and thin, see? Beef up our case. I'm going to take that damn thing off yet. Yeah, making a mess. Okay, that's all gooped up now. See if it's wiped up. that will stick to the case. Like that. Okay, now we take our 3-ball and we put it on top of our seal down here. Then we can screw it on there. It probably won't leak. Hopefully. So you just take a nice generous layer of it there. Don't make it really, really thick, but put a nice, decent quantity of material on there. Remember, this is not going to be flat, so you have enough on there to build it up a little bit. This is one of the few places you could use silicone if you like, but I hate silicone, so I don't use it very often. Like maybe once every 5 years, if then. If 3-ball won't seal it, I don't see any reason to go anything more than that. It's time to fix the problem if you got to go thicker than this. It's a little bit thin right there, so put a little squirt them on there. You know, so I like putting stuff where it belongs, not just putting a big thick ass bead on there and leaving it. So you let this kind of solidify for a minute or so. Let it slightly dry. Give you time to do other stuff, like wipe off your finger. It's very important to have a clean finger. Okay. Flat blade screwdriver. That's what these screws are right here. They're round-headed screws. Ooh. Slimy. So get your screws started. You're going to use the screws to center your plate up a little bit. Okay, I'm missing one lock washer somewhere. This is in the way. What are we going to do about that? Work around it, that's what we do. Bring them in a little bit, not too much. So you only bring them down until they just get a little sticky. I'll stick them on my foot down there. Must have dropped some oil on the floor. Yeah, spreading it around. Got a sticky foot now. I feel like I got bubble gum on my shoe, my boot, my foot. Okay, so as I tighten it down, you see the stuff oozing out of it. So just go a little bit of torque. That's all you need. Figure what a straight slot is. So you're going to just put a little bit of torque. Nothing too severe here, so I'm not really torquing it real heavy. And you can see I get a nice good layer of snot all the way around, so that means it's probably sealed all the way around. Now I had that cup shape to it, remember it's high on the outside edge, so that means it's going to, as it tightens down, it goes like that, and then you tighten it in, it goes like that. It'll squeeze that whole stuff all over the whole inside, the sealer. And we should get a nice good bead all the way around. Now you can go in there and wipe that all off if you want. I'm just going to leave it because I don't care. It's behind the sprocket anyway, and I don't want to disturb the bead. I want it to seal up and not leak. Okay, sprocket. Where'd the sprocket go? We got a sprocket one more time. There it is, sprocket. Okay, we're going to use a 21.2 stock size on this bike. So this is an early bike. It's got a seal with a nut on the end of it. That means I'm going to leave this off for now. I got to deal with the push rods and all that. I want to get the clutch together before I do that. So we're going to wait before we put that on. Early bikes you do a little bit different. Okay, I'm going to go over this side. We never did put the Countershaft in plug on the end of it. So this goes inside the Countershaft, oil gets in top of here, and this hole collects, drains through here into the hole, goes down the length of that Countershaft in the tranny and lubricates the low gear on the other side. That's what its function is. So you want this hole to be straight up and down so you can catch the oil and go in there. So this is just held in by beating on with a hammer. It's just pressed into your trap door here. So you can see the hole down there where it goes inside the Countershaft. So we just put that in there like that. Kind of get it halfway started. Whoop, you can see it. Oops, see how that went in pretty far already? That's not good. So that means we're going to put some sleeve retainer Loctite on there. Or red, whichever one you want to use. Let me just been off more than one time already. I'm going to use a sleeve retainer because I want it to stay in there good. It'll fill up more gaps than red also. It's a little bit thicker. See how it stays on there. So just put a little layer of that all the way around. So there you go, it's already in. So you stick it in the hole, wipe it around a little bit so it spreads inside the hole. Spreads the Loctite out a little bit. Get it halfway straight. And just tap it in with your hammer. Okay. That's all there is to it. Oop. Just beat it until it goes in flat and you're in there. The hole's up on top, so it's going to catch the oil into it. Should be good. Now if yours goes in loose, then what you got to do, you got to prick punch it on the outside, which is peen it, so it's tight. Stick it in there so it stays in and have Loctite again to hold it. Because if it's loose, it'll fall out, obviously. So there you go. Alright, so that's how you do that part. One step further. So the transmission is basically done at that point. And it still rotates. That's a good sign. Okay, now we got to figure out the kicker mechanism and all that stuff. That's where we left off before. So they got all these new fancy import stuff. So first thing I do is he didn't bring me the kicker cover here, I don't think. So I don't know exactly where this is going to line up and how much drag it's going to have. That goes in there like that. See how it's nice and loose? Very common. So we have a shim here that might be the shim for this. Nope, see, it does not fit on there. So it must be an old cam shim that's got worn out. So they have shims in here. You can shim these for in play. Keeps the in play down to a minimum. So what I gotta do is I gotta find my parts here, which I'm not seeing right in front of me. I'm sure they're in here somewhere though. So there's our gear. There's our plate I'm looking for. There's another shim, a small one. There's the nut and lock I'm looking for. Okay, so now we got to figure out what we're going to do for a seal. The stock seal is a rectangular shaped seal that goes in there, or you can run 2 O-rings in there. Up until I did that CR bike, I never had a problem with O-rings in there. His leaked. Now I put 2 O-rings in there, they work great. These are the O-rings that go on your rocker box up on the side. I still like using those. So the rectangular section seals are these things. One of these two here is a little bit different. One's probably for a mag, one's for the kicker. Here's the O-rings I normally use. So let's go see what we're going to do here. We're going to figure out what we want to put inside the hole here. So you can see how these go in here like that. So it just fits loose in there, so it doesn't really do much. This one goes in tight probably. Okay, this one's way too big to go in there. That means it doesn't fit at all. Yep, way too big. So this one probably fits over here better. Doesn't fit that very well either. So they got different years, they do different things. So I'm guessing that's the one that's supposed to be in there, which is loose the goose on the OD. So you think that would leak, right? The problem is when you go to put these on here, see this is a very sharp edge on this, very sharp. And what it will do, it'll cut 4 big flat spots in this seal as you run this thing in there. That's what happens to these, and then they really leak. Now this is going to have to expand quite a bit to fill that hole because it's loose over there, which means it's going to be under a lot of pressure. And right now, see, I can't even push this in there when there's no load on it because it doesn't want to go on. There, I got it where it goes on. So let's see if the thing actually even does anything. It does, see, it doesn't do anything, it just slides in there. It's not even hidden. So this will never seal. This will leak. So this part does not match the case. Okay, this one over here is way too big in diameter. It's tight on that, and it doesn't want to go in this hole because it has to be really squeezed in there. So you'd have to really squeeze it in there like that. So now it's in there, which really made it tight. It was already too tight to go on that. So when you go to put this thing in there, see that square right there? Doesn't even want to go in. And then you're going to shear it off with that shaft when it goes in the rest of the way. Because see, this is going in tight. And see the big shoulder right here? See how much of a shoulder that is? It'll probably be about a 30-second overhang on that thing when you go to speed it in. There's no way this will not cut the ring off. So this doesn't work. So we're 2 for 2 already. So that's why I quit using these things. It always destroyed her. They just cut metal. They cut the rubber every time you put them in. That's why I don't use them. Okay, now the O-rings, what they do is they're radiused. So when they go onto the shaft over here, they'll roll. And it won't tear. They'll roll onto the shaft. See, it goes on a lot easier. So it works a lot easier. And they go tight on the OD. So you have to shove them in there a little bit. Put 1 in there. Put 2 in there. And you can also use the push rod quad seal if you want to. They probably fit also. So now you just take the shaft, stick it in there, and you just kind of wiggle this around a little bit with your hand and rotate slightly. See, you went through 1 already, and we're through 2. And see, it's got pretty good drag. See, I'm pushing pretty hard. So it's already in there. And see, it didn't tear any rubber up. No rubber deposit. And that's dry. Now, if you put lubricant on it, it works a lot better. And see, when you come back out, there's no damage to the O-ring. So that's why I went to using those. Now, I have no idea why it was leaking on an XLCR bike. He says it's leaking out of there, so I don't know. Alright, so we're going to actually put lubricant on those when we put them in for real. Okay, this plate goes in here. You want to make sure you match the flat spot to the case. See how it matches the flat spot there? Make sure you dog it in here. It's anti-rotation. This keeps the seals in there and everything like that. So that's how that goes in. So make sure you put it in that direction. You'll be fine. Okay, so we got to find out if this thing's tight or loose. So I'm going to take our plate, put it up in here like that. Take our shaft, stick it through like that. Take our gear right here. This has stops in here for rotation. So when the kicker's all the way up this way, it goes in the bottom. This is our stop. You have to go over here and put the hole in the right spot for your lever. See, the pinch bolt for the lever goes up high. So you go back about an angle like that. Now if you have a 77 and later kicker, it'll be straight up and down. Earlier bike, they stay about at that angle. So you got your pin right here, you got the square here of the shaft, and you got your dog's locations in there. So we're going to go this direction, which is all the way up. So this is our low spot, this is our high spot. So I'm going to stick it over here like this. Where's our square at? Okay, see how it goes on there? Now you just let it turn this the rest of the way. Boom, over that far off. We're on the stop. We got that in the right spot, so you put your kicker on there, you put your bolt through it, so you know that's all correct. Okay, this lock tab goes in here, catches under there. We don't have to put it in right this minute. Put this on. Now this is a large flat area, and you got a little skinny area. The large flat area goes against the nut. I have no idea why they put a shoulder on the outside of the nut. They do. So just put that in like that. The shaft's going to rotate around until it hits the other side of the dog, and it holds it for you. Then you got to tighten this down, and you can check your end play. I forget what size nut that is, so we'll go over and find something to use. Here's something right here. I don't think this is the one though. Nope. How about a bigger one? This one's 1.1 inches. Nope. So I think it's 1 3/16, but that means we get to go up over here. Oh, who's been using all my tools? Down here. 1 1/16, we definitely know it's not that one. This 1.5 inches, we'll definitely be needing that. Alright, that goes back there. This must be the 3/16. That's the 1/8. Let's see, there's 3/16. Ah, the one that fits. Boom. Okay, you gotta tighten it up a little bit. Then you check your end play. You gotta hold it flat, straight, and you go in and out. So this has very little end play in it. And this is just finger tab. When I tighten it, it'll pull in further. So this has very little end play in it, so we're good. See, if you had the cover over here to hold it square, and you can check it easier. Right now, it bounces around. You have to kind of find the center point. So we'll be lucky if this is not tight, because it's pretty tight with nothing. So we'll find out in a minute, because we're going to put it on for real now. So now we know it fits, and it seems like it's going to be correct. Now I'm going to actually do it. Okay, so we take our nut back off. Boom. You have to pull this off to get it out of the motor mount here. So we're going to take our 2 O-rings and put them in here. Let's see. Got to grab some little grease. Take a little bit of grease. Stick them on your O-rings there. Get inside your bushing here also while you're at it. Get your shaft well lubed up. It's probably the last time you're going to lubricate this, so don't be afraid to put some lube in there. Okay, this is going to go in here like this, like that, and it'll lubricate the rest of it. Boom. See, it goes in a lot easier when you got a little lube on it. Okay, we just got done doing everything, so we already know it fits, kind of. Okay, so do we want to put this on right now or wait? I think we're going to wait for a minute. We need to check some other stuff here. This kicker gear goes behind the other ones. We got to deal with this right now too. Okay, so right now we have a problem is this is loose on here. And we got to figure out how much clearance we got. Do something about that. Alright, and I gotta get some shim stock. So we'll be back in a minute.